It's involved with, after the event, improving a social structure. We're saying a modern authority, in fact, not alone should it clean up after the event or after the destruction or the creation of what we have, but in fact they should be very conscious and plan ahead as to the social problems that are going to arise within their region. And so that led us to, as I said, the conclusion, which you've all seen, which is, yes, we did draw boundaries. Yes, we did say Limerick is one. Yes, we did say that we need one major city with a population in excess of 100,000 people. Yes, and we did say that we will include Shannon Banks, Westbury, and the northern campus of the university, that that's all part of Greater Limerick. And we did so not in fact to go grabbing territory off Clare. We did so against the background that a thriving Limerick city is simply one rung of the ladder, or perhaps taking us 3 or 4 rungs of the ladder before Clare, Limerick and perhaps North Kerry, which is dear to me, before we can all start working together to ensure in fact that we bring jobs, industry, tourists and everything else back into this region. I've been asked to talk a little bit of what might happen and where do we go from here, and just from my point of view is we have started and we're going to finalise the last work we said we would do for the task force. Maybe we'll finish by Christmas, but definitely early in the new year, and I said I would return to it. But it will all be in vain if I cannot persuade you all, and you cannot persuade all those around you, that the new governance structure for Limerick that we have suggested, though not perfect, though not perhaps 100% meeting your approval, but in fact it is such a major step forward that we must all put our shoulder behind it and get it done. Within government, I know where it stands, that they're waiting for a signal from this region. The signal is that you can give a signal, we don't like it all, but please go ahead with it because we want to get on to the next task. But the signal must come from this region, and immediately a signal starts coming from Limerick County Council, Limerick City Council, Regeneration Agency, Clare County Council, the Chamber of Commerce, IBEC, the unions, and perhaps more than anything else from the people themselves, that let's get on with it. Then the government have told me that they will go on with the legislation. Things will happen very quickly thereafter. It has been said to me is that legislation will take quite a bit of time. We're trying to do things slowly and diplomatically, and saying that the councillors who represent, elected representatives who represent the people on both city and county, and one person from Clare, let them all be in the same forum for the next 2 to 3 years until new electoral boundaries are drawn up. But what we have said and what we are promised, that if in fact the government make the decision to go ahead, that they will simultaneously make the decision to start the implementation of what we did, which is to put an independent chairman in there quickly, start working with the 2 authorities, Limerick County Council and Limerick City Council, and start putting together the structure, the arrangements, the funding and all that's needed when you merge 2 major authorities together. And if we can get it done, as I said, it is, as far as I'm concerned, the major plank to get us all back to the work of the task force and the work that remains to be done. I said I would finish by going back to the task force, and we said we had said in the interim report that there were 8 further issues we wanted to spend time on. And somehow they all tie together. If I take issue number 4, is a master plan for the Greater Limerick area. And as of now, we are not going to write the master plan, because if we cannot get the governance right, a master plan is a waste of time. And number 2 is if we can get the governance right, and we can get an independent chairman to chair the merging of the 2 councils, part of that work for the 2 councils and the executives and the elected members will be to sign off on the master plan. And it isn't passing the buck, but we know in fact how we can get item 4 tackled. The other items, obviously, which are very close to our heart, which is driving foreign inward investment. We have been pushing the IDA very hard. We will certainly get, I am confident we will get in the next few years, some of the foreign inward investment jobs, because we are now pushing. It's not for me. I cannot stay as chairman of the task force forever, not till the task force survive forever, but we need to work out that somebody has to be there pushing the IDA to drive forward in inward investment. They have all the knowledge, they have all the capability, but we need the champion of this region to push and never stop. We are examining, and I saw some of it in a very notable newspaper during the last week or 10 days, we said we would come back and we would examine the contribution of all the local, the interrelationship of all the local development agencies. And I brought it along, but I said it would be very interesting to look at all the agencies who work in this area. And these are all very good people. People who work there are all very good people. I never criticise any of them. But at times I just scratch my head and say, it's not possible that we cannot create jobs with that many agencies. But of course we know that the interrelationship between agencies, and I know now that the government is picking it up not as a big West problem, but perhaps a problem for the whole country. In the areas of enterprise and employment, in this area at the moment, we have the IDA, Enterprise Ireland, Shannon Development. We have 4 county enterprise boards, Limerick City, County, Clare, and we've one in Tipperary. In tourism, we have Fault Ireland, Tourism Ireland, Shannon Development. In transport, we have the Dublin Airport Authority, the Shannon Airport Authority, the Fines Port Company. And so I can go on in education. You know, we have Falls, we have Limerick City University, we have the institutes, etc. And then I can go into other areas of employment as well, which are all those that lie within the community equality and Gaelic affairs, which are Ballyhowra, Clare Local Development Company, North Tipperary, West Limerick Resource Company, Paul Partnership, etc. And of course in the area of local authorities we have obviously the Limerick, all the ones that exist. And I think, as I said, a notable newspaper, I won't say it stole some of our clothes, but we are deeply involved in looking at how these agencies interrelate. And in fact, what we need to do, this region needs a regional development agency, not to go and develop themselves, because we do have the IDA, yes we do have Tourism Ireland, but it needs a regional development agency, perhaps to take up the work when the task force finishes, so that it drives all the creators of jobs to remember this region and to obviously spell out and to keep driving forward the potential we have and the attributes we have, and why people should come here to invest here and why people should come here to holiday here. There is work going on in the Midwest as an energy hub. The work between Galway and Limerick universities has started, and in fact we will obviously be reporting in our final report how that can be speeded up, supplemented, augmented, whatever it may be. There's obviously the potential of the Shannon estuary, and of course there is, and I'll come back and finish with, there is Shannon Airport. While Shannon Airport remains owned by the Dublin Airport Authority, who are very good people, but whose first priority is to Dublin. I was there. We used to have, in my food days, a major factory in Listowel, County Kerry, and we also had little factories, creameries in Dingle and Carsaveen and Kilmare. But if anyone tells me that I gave the same attention to Carsaveen, Kilmare and Dingle as I gave to Listowel, just forget it. These places were for winding down and closing down, and that's what we eventually did with them. So we must ensure, in fact, that Shannon Airport, which is a major asset of the region, and I haven't the answer today, but just to let you know, is that one of the final reports we will be making when the task force finishes its work in Christmas or early in the new year, is we will try and leave a blueprint as well for a Shannon Airport that will benefit the region will benefit you all and will bring many jobs instead of being in permanent decline. So again, thank you, President, for giving me the opportunity. I know that our report will not give everybody happy, but I do hope, in fact, that my talk today will help your thought process to say, even if we're not happy, it's 80% of what we want or 90% of what we want. Let's put our shoulder to the wheel and persuade government to give it to us. Thank you very much.